The Golden Spike Railroad is actually 5 railroads kind of combined into one backyard. We have the upper deck where the little truck is running. And we have 2 tracks that run parallel to each other in the middle. We have an outer perimeter track. And somewhere tucked in the middle here is a windy, twisty little mining railroad that serves the town of Whiskey Gulch. It's a busy little railroad, and wherever you stand, look behind you, 'cause something's going on. Trains are coming, trains are going. There's always something to look out for. Just off the main line is the mining railroad, serving the town of Whiskey Gulch. let's ride along with the engineer as we take a little trip, visit the surrounding community of Whiskey Gulch. Oh, yeah, there's always one daredevil in every crowd. Meanwhile, the action continues throughout Whiskey Gulch as the lights begin to turn on and the trains make their final runs for the evening. Maintaining the high-tension wires is a constant project in this rugged terrain around Whiskey Gulch. Back on the main lines, the freight is moving along, where diesels and steam work hand in hand to get the job done. A big boy locomotive pulling a load of cattle cars cuts through the entertainment district on its way from who knows where to parts unknown. The intrusion doesn't interrupt the community baseball game going on. Neither does the commuter train riding on the elevated track above. The very talented washboard trio entertains the crowd in the park, while across the street at the drive-in theater, it appears that King Kong is about to destroy the place, while the vendors down below seem quite oblivious to the monkey on their back.
Meanwhile, back on the main line,
Trains keep running and freight keeps rolling. The big boy makes an impressive sight as it winds its way around the perimeter of the layout, through the rocky terrain, and it sounds great as it begins to climb to the upper level. We follow the commuter train back towards the bridge to see what's going on down there. An F unit, painted in Black Widow colors, runs light as it goes to pick up its train, while a commuter train goes by above over the Hellgate Bridge, and a trolley glides by below as it goes about its local business. The GP9, painted in the Black Widow paint scheme, pulls a unit train of tank cars across the bridge that goes over Bear Creek, while the bears are playing in the creek in the background. The F units return, pulling their train, headed off to wherever the imagination leads them. The trolley returns, and the commuter train goes across the bridge over Bear Creek, and the pace begins to pick up around the Golden Spike Railroad. A matched pair of Santa Fe diesels are seen here as they go through the yard to pick up their train. And here we see them pulling a unit train of tankers around the curve throughout the White Mountains. They pass over the campgrounds as they meet a Black Widow F-7 from the Southern Pacific, and then a GP-9 Southern Pacific Black Widow. And along the way, the service truck runs overhead as it goes through town, checking the rails, keeping things in line. The Southern Pacific has a strong presence on the Golden Spike layout. Black Widow pulls the freight train past the crowd that's waiting at the train station. Across from the station, we see the dairy products sitting on the dock, waiting for the milk train passing later on. The Jack Daniels Saloon and the boarding house next door tend to stay as busy as the railroad behind it. A matched pair of Santa Fe locomotives pulls the train out of the tunnel that goes in back of the farmlands and between the community baseball field. Up past the carnival, behind the bluegrass band and the band shell, all the wild animals in the wild animal cage, the Santa Fe just goes about its business. The commuter train passes through the downtown area, and as it gets to the other end, it meets up once again with the mining train as it pulls through the freight yard. As the pair of steam locomotives approach the Hellgate Bridge, they meet up once again with the Santa Fe diesels headed in the opposite direction. Service trucks run about doing their business as the commuter train waits at the water tank and the engineer receives its orders from the tower master. As the trucks run around, the F7 Southern Pacific comes out of the tunnel and heads down the main line. I hope you have enjoyed your visit with the Golden Spike Railroad. It's a busy little town. It's a beautiful little town. And if you're ever in town, stop by and say hi.